Okay, so here we are. We're going to start on an arm. In this case, I object transform origin to geometry, and I'm going to tip this arm up like this. And then I'm going to kind of look at it, and you can see where it changes right here. That's where it starts going up into an angle where there would be a lot of overhang. Okay, so I'm going to take a cube, I'm going to try to match the angle of that arm, near abouts. Right about there. Okay, now what I need is a box that matches that. So what I'll do is I'll do this. I'll take and hit Shift D, right click, mesh, vertices, separate, selection. What that did is I made a box, or I made another polygon right here that's a whole separate polygon. So you can see that right here. Yeah. Then I'll go object transform origin to geometry. And if you look here, we have the ability to manipulate it so that the pivot point is now to the normal. So here's global, which would be the world, and then normal. So if I hit Control E, tab, face, Control E, and it's on normal, I can go like this. And last but not least, this one, Control E. So I have to cover over the entire form, just like that. So what I have is two cubes. Alright, so we're just going to break this model apart. Shift D to duplicate it, move it down here. Okay, and I need two copies. Shift D. Doesn't matter what you call these, it could be okay, so I can delete the ones I don't need. This one and this one. This one's the 0, 1 right, and this one's 0, 1 left. Okay, so this one, we need to Boolean it to a difference of 0, 1 right. And this one, we need to Boolean it to a difference of 0, 1. Oh, whoops. This one, Boolean difference 0, 1 left. And there we go. So we wouldn't be able to print this, right? Because look at this right here. This is not flat. Again, we want the resolution to be there also. So we couldn't cut it down this way. We could, but that would prevent any detail to occur. There's no detail, but let's pretend there is detail. Let's go back to global. Kind of move these into position. We can get rid of these boxes now. I'm done with these. They take up a lot of space. This one I'm just going to go like this. And we're going to try to rotate that so it's the flattest spot. Now the overhang of the thumb might be a problem, but I don't think so. Now I could have put a little piece of filament in here. You see how that worked, but I forgot to do it this one. Object, transform origin to geometry. Let's go to cube. Okay, we're going to make another box. So we need to be able to have this so it prints out flat. This one's at a natural angle, so it attaches to the hand. I would have to, since I put a filament in this area, I would have to cut this in half again. Mesh, snap, cursor to selected. Object, transform origin to 3D cursor. Just like that. So let's do that really small here. So mesh, snap, cursor to selected. Tab, object, transform origin to 3D cursor. Okay, this on Z22. There we go. Now this could happen anywhere within it. I might just do 1/2 of it right there. And to speed things along, I'm not going to rename it. So this is cube 03. Cube 05. Now I can rotate this piece. Negative 270. Well, you see now that the rotational value is weird. So here's a perfect example of what you would do is to apply the rotation and scale. So now that I can get a perfect negative 180. Finally, a good example for that. And this would be okay. So there we go. We have our arm, torso, in hand. And again, I could have put these holes in throughout the entire form if I wanted to, but I'll just do it with one, and then the other two will just glue together just to see how bad that is. Alright, so let's print this out. Oh, one last thing. Oh, no, I guess that'll print because it's a flat edge right there. So it should print out good. You have to lay it out for print still. You have to still do the flat spot. If you followed along with the other videos, should be one of the things that you could probably blank out. There we go. So Z, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Duplicate those, move them over here. Remember the 100 cube law that I put out there? That also is a 100 cube law in Z-axis also. Some people can't print past 100. They can always scale it in the program if they want to. But to reduce it down is a pain. Scaling up's easy. So good. Fits quite nicely in there. And when I print that, I know what 100 millimeters looks like now. So I might print it smaller, like at 75% or 50%, because I don't need to know I don't need it this tall to be able to test it. What that's going to do, however, is going to shrink the hole for the filament, so I would have to re-drill that out, but at least I would have a pilot hole for that area to know where to drill at. Alright, so why don't you go ahead and print this, and then meet me back in the next video.